Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When we talk about resilience, we often think about someone who has went through a difficult situation, he overcome it, and then come back stronger. Well, my story is slightly different. I am completely shattered. I do not think I have bounced back completely. Resilience isn't just about coming back with a perfect comeback story, but it's realizing that you have disappeared from your own life and that you decided to do something about it by gradually coming back. My story is called When Caring for Someone Means Losing Yourself. Allow me to bring you back to 2013. That was the year when I pivoted from being a process plant technician to being a military fitness trainer, or the physical training instructor or PTI for the older generation, if you will. And on that same year, I pursued a sports science degree part-time. I started running 10 kms, half marathons, and even full marathons. And then I got involved in triathlons. So one sport not enough, I must do three. I must do swim, cycle, run. And then I also started participating in Spartan challenges. Those are obstacle course racing. One particular event was called the Spartan Hurricane Heat. This was the patch that I was awarded at the end of it. So this was a grueling endurance-based team event where everyone needs to work together in order to survive and complete it. So there's one moment during the event where all the participants were very sloppy, and then it triggered the caterer. They started shouting at us. They told us to lift up the tire. Before we do it, we were doing tire squats. 1, 2, 3. As if that was not enough, we did 20 reps by the way. He told us to lift up the tire up in the air. Tire shoulder presses. 1, 2, 3. By the 20th rep, my hand was really shaking violently. Okay, it's not that I want to register this event just to be kena tekan by others. Why I signed up for this event was because it was more symbolic. I had a colleague graduate teammate who took her own life 2 months before her birthday. And this event was on 13th October 2018, which was the day she would have turned 30. Now, I would like to talk more about my BMT story and also the hurricane hit and also my mental health challenge and the journey. But that's the story for another day. Now I want to bring you back to my caregiving journey. Move forward to 2022. Okay, there was when there's a particular moment in that year, maybe around the first half, when I discovered that my mom had 3 months of unconsumed medication. Okay, when I tracked back the prescription date to that current date, it was more than 3 months. To make things worse, I suffered an accident a few months prior and I had a wrist fracture and I have a scar right here. And also, my mom had a massive eye infection that required the surgical removal of her left eye. There was when I realized my mom needed more support with her healthcare needs. Even my father couldn't keep up with her needs. And I wondered why my parents didn't share with me about their struggles much earlier. it took me until I need to find out for myself that we were struggling. So towards the end of 2022, I found myself with the National Kidney Foundation. I got a job with them and I was in the allied health team. So I was working with the occupational therapy team to be exact. And that was the moment I realized that in the allied health team, I could work alongside real occupational therapists, dietitians, and even social workers. These are the kind of professions that you do not usually bump into, except for maybe in hospitals. Now I've got the privilege to work with them. So I was genuinely excited to be employed by NKF or National Kidney Foundation. It also gave me the realization that I can have the perspective of healthcare from the inside out, and this could be helpful for my mom's caregiving journey. Okay, fast forward to 2024, I was really struggling with all my mom's medical appointments and caregiving needs. And then I found myself withdrawing from social situations. Even my work performance dropped. Earlier in that year, I was also diagnosed by IMH with dyspnea, which is a type of depression. So there was a lot of things stacked against me. Towards the third or fourth quarter, I was issued a performance training plan by the company. So that means they have a specific plan for me to improve my performance. If not, likely you will be terminated from the company. And then that December that year, I received the news that my mom was admitted to hospital again. So during that hospital stay, she requested that she wanted me to be her caregiver. I thought about it for a while. Then I decided, okay, I need to resign from my company. So I ended resignation after the new year. And why she requested for me to be her caregiver was because she wasn't open to having a helper at that point of time. And it seems convenient because I was already struggling so much already, and I thought, okay, I need another career break. So January passed, I was also officially out of the company, and then February came. My mom was finally discharged after 2 months. I tried working with her on eating healthier and really exercising, but it wasn't very effective. I tried to leverage on healthcare systems, so I got her involved with the daycare and day rehab. But outside of those systems, nothing much changes. Then I realized that it's not a very straightforward journey. Even with all the expertise I have from being a fitness trainer, having a degree, and working with NTF, it's not. These professional experiences do not translate into caregiving. These are two separate things altogether. And this year, March 2026, there was another turning point. My mom was hospitalized again. This time, my parents were moved. I think for some reason or other, they realized that they need to change and be open to certain things. So they finally agreed to having a helper, and also agreed to, my father decided to remove some built-in wardrobe and clear the space for the incoming helper. At that time, I was really struggling with caregiver risk mode and just not willing to socialize or do anything in particular. But I forced myself to apply for jobs. Then I got myself involved in like speaking events. I attended speaking events such as SG60 and also Inspiration Night. And then at the end of May, I got a job offer with a local hotel, and I started working for them. I believe this is just the start of my comeback story. So maybe perhaps after this hotel stint, I actually want to go back to like more fitness and also or even social service sector. So there could be two branches that I could go. So if I may be if I may be very bold to share with you, I may even want to apply for those like executive roles or even assistant manager in informed settings. I feel I have the expertise to like apply for these jobs now. So wrapping everything up, I realize caregiving isn't just about having all the expertises. I think you need a lot of support as well, and you also need like the care recipients and maybe like like for example parents like the spouse to be open to receiving this help. So if like I'm the caregiver, I'm very enthusiastic to help others, but my parents they are not willing to be helped, then it's a conflicting relationship and nothing will change. So when I think back, I also realized that I need a mentor to like guide me through this very difficult phase. I need someone to be able to bounce off ideas because of the massive brain fog. So like I can make better decisions and not make very costly decisions that may backfire on me.